Digital tools to the rescue. Here they come to save you or destroy you. It depends on which side of the tool that you're on. Write a solid profile with a captivating headline on LinkedIn. Put it out there on LinkedIn. Put it on Indeed. Put it whatever board you can possibly do. Have a photo associated with your picture on your profile. Just so you know, on LinkedIn, I don't connect with people who don't have a picture. In my opinion, if you can't put a picture up, obviously you don't want me to know who you really are. I always do that, and I don't recommend it on your resume. I do recommend it on a board that people are going to look in your profile as you come through. Customize your public profile and your URL. Don't have something bizarre on your email address or web address that somebody's going to sit down and say, huh, I'm not certain I want this person over here. Have keywords in your career summary. Follow the same thing, about 7 keywords to 20 keywords in your resume, in your cover letter, and also in your career summary, because sometimes the machines, they actually go through the AIs, they search the profiles out there on LinkedIn trying to find people that match in the process. Solicit recommendations, especially if you're new to the game. Ask people to endorse you on whatever. Once you hit 100, it becomes irrelevant in the process. So update your status on a regular basis. If you're applying for jobs, you land a job, update it, because you don't know, somebody may be looking for somebody with your skills. So keep your digital presence current on the current job you have, because a new opportunity that you don't even know about may open up, and it may come looking for you in the process. Maximize your rate. I've told you before about the key words and key phrases. Focus on the nouns. Focus on the first word being an action word. Keep the formatting simple. Don't confuse the AIs. Don't confuse the humans as well. Use conventional headings. Don't be outrageous and try to pretend there's something out there, because the AI may look over the top of that heading that you decided to create. So be cautious about being too creative as you go out there. Concentrate on the skills section. They're looking for skills. Keep in mind, a lot of employers, they want the technical and they want to have the soft skills on top of that. Use variations of the job title. For years, I was a vice chancellor of human resources. Well, how many places have a vice chancellor walking around? So on my different skill sets, I would normally list myself as vice president of human resources. Then underneath that, I would put vice chancellor. And that way they could sit down and the machine could pick up the vice president, which is the standard terminology. And also the human then could see the vice chancellor underneath that. Make certain you're paying attention to the variations out there. You want to have the machines pick up the standard term, but if yours is different, do a subsetting. It's okay in the process. Include relevant coursework in your portfolio. You want to have a listing of different things, not necessarily your resume, but have it in your profile as you come through. Sometimes have present examples of stuff that you're doing. This is pretty common with artists, so why not sit down and put it in there for you as an individual? Submitted this over here, like a budget worksheet or whatever, something that was really complicated that you sat down and did. Display award certificates in your portfolio as well. If you got a certificate for something, put it in there. You want to sit down and have different qualifications, because if somebody decides to pop up in your profile, they see you got this, all of a sudden now they become interested. The purpose of your profile is to gain interest. You won't get a job out of your profile, but you will get interest and maybe an inquiry about whether or not you're interested in a certain job. Link to digital files, websites, projects that highlight your skills. If you have a skill set in this area over here, see if there's a group on it and be part of that group, and even include some comments on the dialogue. Show career-specific resumes. Make certain that you're targeting a field instead of a broadcast type of resume. Nobody's going to hire somebody that sits there saying you got 17 different places you can go. They're going to focus in on somebody that they want, that person that does that job in the process. So be careful about being too broad in the process. Sometimes video resumes, they seem to rise for a little bit and then they disappeared. Video resumes are okay. And you may want to have a brief video ready to go. And even including if somebody you apply for a job, they may actually request that. I've never seen that. But if you can sit down and have a 2-minute to 5-minute different interview yourself as to what the job is, that may be helpful for you as well. Done well, it might give you an edge. If you do a bad job, it may sit there and kick you out. of contention. Print-based resumes always have a traditional printed resume. You don't know what's going to happen. You go into a job interview. Sometimes job fairs will sit down there, and job fairs are really good. Give them something to hold on to. There's something valuable when you give somebody a thing, okay, versus an email. And an email go click and it's gone. On a piece of paper, there's something where we as humans tend to be careful to throw it away. Distributed job interviews, share in-person to person networking. If you show up for a job interview, have paper resumes to pass around. A lot of times people might have an iPad or computer there with their resume on it, but that piece of paper reminds them of who you are after it. And we're competing for a job. Sometimes they don't require electronic submissions. Sometimes somebody's at a job where they're just collecting, and you look at them, somebody else looks at them later on. So customize it all the time. Make certain when you're going after a job, you're customizing it as you go through. Plain text. Okay, you want to have plain text in your resumes and your cover letter. You want to always sit down and you want to be able to upload. If you have too much of a fancy text as you go through, okay, then the machine will be confused. It'll shift it over anyway on its own, and you may sit down and have typos in it that you never knew existed because you never saw it because the computer actually changed it. So be careful about the texting that you have. That's why you have only 2 different kinds of text as you go through. So to submit your resume, typically a Word document, but be cautious on a Word document because sometimes when you submit a regular Word document, you'll have what's called pagination happen, where the last line of one page rolls over onto the next page, and you have this bizarre look. You have a heading over here, space, and then boom, the text is over here. You don't want that to happen. If you're going to submit on Word, always put a hard return at the bottom to move that to the next thing in the process you go through. PDF is almost always the best way to do it as you go through. Always have your keywords, 7 keywords or more. Cover letter, your digital profile, put the keywords on there. Have the material on hand all the time, including paper as you go through, including multiple versions of your resume on your phone if you can do it, or on your computer for sure in the process. Then always have the paper and digital ready to go. Take care.